Hello everyone, here is part 2 of my club ride planning on Google Maps, and this is a continuation from part 1. This one is going to be a very important part because it's going to show you how to take the information, the route that you made in Google Maps, and now transcribe it into a Google document to pass on to your fellow riders. As I started getting into riding and riding in a group and planning group rides, I was having a real struggle with what platform to use, what app to use, so everyone can be on the same page when it comes to rides like this. So what I found out is that there's a lot of great programs out there. Some are only specific to iPhone, some are on the Android and iPhone platform. And the problem is that not everyone has an iPhone or not everyone has an Android. So it kind of brings you back to Google and specifically Google Maps. So as I've been playing with it, in the beginning was very difficult because it wasn't doing what I wanted to, and it was either a lack of knowledge of Google Maps or possibly they've updated since the last time I've played with it. All right, so let's get right in it. So we have our Google Map. We have it all out. You can watch part 1 to see how we got to this point. We want to bring this all together in a simplified form that someone could look on their computer, download the instructions, or even better, put it on their phone if you're using your cell phone for navigation and GPS. All right, so let's get into this Google template I made. It's really simple, and then how we extrapolate our information from this Google Maps onto our Google Doc for everyone in your club that you can share wherever you need to. You can email it, you can post it on Facebook. So we're going to open up a new page here. We're going to go to the app section of Google's and we're going to go to Docs. Now, this is very easily replicated. You guys can do this on your own, or you can send me an email and I can send you a copy of this. So here we go. Really simple form. There's nothing here that's very complicated. You have ride name, you have ride date, you have Google Map, you have turn-by-turn online map direction, ride stats, and printed direction. I'll show you what I do with all this. So let's just start with the ride name. We're going to call this Springtime. Let's do Springtime Club Ride. Let's just pick a date of May 5th, 2023. And here is I'm going to say the most important part, because this is what everyone's going to be clicking to follow your map. So you want to go back to your original map that we had created the other day. You want to go to the top left-hand corner. You'll see 3 lines and it says menu when you scroll over it. You want to left click that and you're going to open up another tab here with a whole bunch of different things. There's some interesting stuff here, but for our purposes, we want to go down here to share or embedded map. And what you want to do is left click that and another screen will populate, a pop-up that will show you a link to your map. It will also give you the option to post to Facebook, to Twitter, and send out emails through Gmail. So we're going to scroll over copy link. We're going to left click that link and we're going to go back to our original document and we're going to right click and paste. And what we have here is the link that we just created with our Google Map that everyone can click on their phones or from their desktop to download and see what the route is. And I'll show you an example of exactly how this works. If you open up another tab here, you can paste this in here, you can enter, and now it populated exactly what is here. It populates on anyone's computer or cell phone. And this is going to be the key to having everyone on the same page on a ride. Everyone will know where you're going. If you get lost, if you get separated, you get stopped at a light, whatever the situation is, you can pick up your route from where you are because you have the same exact mapping that everyone else has, that the ride captain has, that the tail gunner has, and the ride leader made. So in the continuation of our Google Doc, the next section we're going to have after you pasted your link to Google Maps is kind of a redundancy of exactly what this link is here. I added this just to have a secondary way to download a map in case the link for the first one doesn't work. So this is turn-by-turn online map directions, and it's basically the same as the first link. And let me get into it and show you exactly what it is. So let's go back to our original page with the mapping. Let's X out of here. Now, on your left-hand side, under the actual destinations, let's scroll down to where you see this information here. Click on details, and this populates turn-by-turn directions. And this is valuable for some people that not only visually want to see where you're going, but also want to read where you're going. So what I like to do here is you go to the top of this, there is this share icon, you want to left click that, and you have a very similar screen to the one we had before. You're going to copy this link, you're going to go back to your documents, and you're going to copy and paste this right into your turn-by-turn online direction. Now, you can obviously get these directions from our original copy and paste if you just go to the details here, okay? For our sake and for redundancy, we're going to show you just another way with a different link and another source to get to the same information. And what happens is instead of it coming up with this, when you use this link, you get the directions with the map. And very easily from the screen, you can go straight back to exactly where this other screen was. It's repeating what you're doing, but I wanted a redundancy and a second separate link to that same information. So the next thing we have on here are ride stats. This is very simple information. The ride stats, and I will show you this when we go back to our original page. Let me X out of here. Is right here. So once we go back to here, if we go to the details with the detailed mapping directions, right on top you have ride stats. 2 hours and 32 minutes. Without traffic, 105 miles. I like to copy and paste that. Right click, copy, go back to your doc, and paste. Okay, now is this necessary? You know what? I think it's a good addition to this to your templates for your document. It gives everyone an idea of the length of the ride, a time and mileage on the ride. So it's a little bit of information that I think is very valuable. So now the last part that we have here is going to be printed directions. So this is something that is obviously valuable if you want to visually see your mapping and also read your turn-by-turn directions before the actual club ride itself. So let's get back into our original map. And just again to show you, this is our original map. We're going to go to the details page, and these are the directions. But the problem with these directions is you can't just copy and paste these as is because it doesn't show the details in between. So you're going to have to go to these arrows, click them, and it expands that tab. And you can see when you do this, it populates the actual directions in between. So now you have all the turn-by-turn directions visually. Now what I like to do is go to the bottom of the page. I leave my cursor down here. I'll click that and I highlight everything up to here. I then right-click, copy. Go back to your original document. Go to the printed directions, left-click, right-click, and paste. And now you just transferred all of your information from your Google Maps to your document. And if you scroll up, what you'll find is every single direction is here, not only visually being able to see it, but also with icons to show you which direction you should go in. Now, the other nice thing about this is that, let's say you're a visual person, or you're not using your Google Maps on your phone because it's not right in front of you, it's in your trunk or in a jacket. You can, as a rider on this club ride, you can download this document, copy and paste this into any form you want, and print this out. You can print it out, minimize the text so it's on a quarter piece of standard size paper, and leave it in your jacket. This is going to be, I believe, very valuable option for everyone. So they have different ways of keeping track with what we're doing. We have visual representation. We have it on a map. We have it printed. We have visual side-by-side directions on what to do on every street on this specific route. We have our route planned out on Google. We took the time to put in our destinations, bathroom breaks, coffee breaks, food breaks, all these different things. Now what do you do with this document you just created? You created a ride, you created a name, you created links, visual directions, map directions. So this is how you're going to now take this information, put it to your Facebook group or email it. But for our sake, we're going to go with the Facebook posting. And here's what you do. This is my Facebook group, Long Island US Spider Riders. You're going to want to go back to your original document. You're going to want to left click and highlight the entire document, including the directions and everything. Scroll right to the bottom. You're going to then go on the highlighted area. You're going to right click. Don't cut, just copy. So now on your clipboard, you have a copy of everything you just produced. You're going to want to go to your Facebook group. You're going to want to go to the section where you can post something. Click on this area where it says write something. Sometimes it says on your phone, post something. Click on that and it's going to populate another screen that's going to give you the ability to make your post for your group. And what you want to do at this point is you want to left click on this screen so your cursor's up. You want to right click so your menu comes up, and you want to paste. What you just created was everything that was in your original document that you made right over here. Everything that you just did, all the time, all the effort that you put into this ride, all the thoughts is now in a post that you're creating for Facebook. And let's go over that. You have the name, you have the ride date, you have the Google Maps link, you have the turn-by-turn online map directions. Remember, we're talking redundancy here. This is a different link than this, but they both go to the same information. You have your ride stats. You have your printed directions for someone who wants to copy and paste this. And from this point, once you post this, your club members will have the ability to open this up, read this, click on these links on their phone, and download these directions directly to their phone, where they could be using their cell phone, Google Maps, and GPS all at the same time, and everyone could be in sync with one another. Now, there are some downfalls or issues with this. Not everyone has a phone mount. A lot of people do. Some people also use Garmin GPS units that are mounted on their bikes. And this is definitely a challenge, but this gives everyone the basic same way to have all the same information that's needed. And even if you don't have your phone mounted or you have a separate GPS unit, if you were lost, if there's an issue, you can always still stop, go back to your printed map, open up your phone that's usually in your pocket or in your trunk charging, and you can see, hey, this is where I am. This is where the group's going to. Let me follow the route so I can catch back up to them. And this is going to avoid a lot of confusion and problems with people being uneasy about being lost, scared, nervous, not knowing the area, but you will always have that final destination of knowing where your group is going. And to just go back to this post that we're creating, you can see as you scroll down, all the information is here. And this is what I like too. Visually in the bottom, here's another link that you could do to get to your Google Maps. So this is part 2. Part 1 shows us how to create this map. Part 2 shows us what to do with all that information now that you have that. Now, there is going to be a part 3. The part 3 is actually going to be a screen recording of my cell phone. It's an Android-based cell phone. I believe it's going to be very similar to what an iPhone is going to be. And the reason I'm doing this on a cell phone on the part 3 is to show you, well, you see this post, you see the links. What do you do after with this information? What happens when you click that link? And that's what I'm going to show you on the part 3 of this. Guys, I really appreciate you watching this. I hope this becomes valuable to us as a club and to everyone else that might be watching this. I think Google Maps is a standard. Yes, it might have some drawbacks, but to keep the group as a group, this, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. Post, comment, share, like this. Spread this to people that you know or you're friends with, and we will see you when part 3 comes out. Thank you very much, and have a safe ride.